Hello everyone. In this session, we will go through the master setups used in Field.ai. This is a quick recap. We will see the equipment master setup and the equipment master itself. Let us quickly recap the previous masters that we have covered and also the masters that are used in Field.ai. We have covered the service maintenance setup, which includes various masters like maintenance group, closed code, problem, and counter. Then we have also covered the 4 different masters in the resource setup. We will cover the equipment master setup. After that, there will be a task group, a warehouse setup, a product master, and a customer master. Let us go to the equipment master setup and quickly understand how we are going to cover it and the purpose of these masters. There is a screen called Equipment Master Setup. Under this screen, we have 4 masters: Equipment Application, Equipment Class, Equipment Rating, and Equipment Category. These are all relevant and useful for creating equipment, which we will cover separately as an equipment master. Equipment is basically an asset in Onfinity, and in Field.ai, assets and equipment are the same. Let us quickly go to the screen and understand these masters. When you log into the screen, you will land on this page. To navigate to the equipment master, you can go to Field.ai, then to Setup, and then to Equipment Master Setup. Alternatively, you can directly search for Equipment Master Setup. You can use both ways. Under Equipment Master Setup, you can see 4 buttons: Equipment Application, Class, Equipment Rating, and Equipment Category. Let us first understand Equipment Application. The name suggests that Equipment Application is an application for the respective equipment. This is where the equipment or asset that we will be creating is being used. For example, there is a forklifter. We are creating a forklifter as a new equipment in our system. The forklifter can be used for various purposes, such as for manufacturing, to shift material from one location to another. Maintenance people also use it for troubleshooting. It is used when we have to hold some heavy equipment. In order to dismantle the engines or any other heavy equipment, we have to hold it with the help of a forklifter. So, these are different uses of one equipment at different places. We can map that respective use to their respective assets in Onfinity or Field.ai. This is how to create a new equipment application. Just click on New Code. The equipment organization and application code will automatically update. Let us give a different name here. Let us take the example of a coffee machine. It is used in cafes and also in homes. So let us say commercial use. We can map the equipment application like this to commercial use. We can also provide a description if we want. We can also rename it later for the coffee machine. This is how we can rename it once it has been created. This is how we can create an equipment application. Let us go back to another one. The second one is Equipment Class. We can define Equipment Class in Field.ai according to the criticality of the assets and also according to the uses of the assets. For example, in any industry, there are some assets that are too critical, so an industry cannot handle any breakdowns that come with respect to those assets. For example, if I am taking the example of one crane in a forging industry, that crane is taking care of 8 to 10 machines. It is picking up material from every machine. It is carrying a load and keeping the load from one place to another. For 8 machines, there is only one crane that is being used, so whenever the crane goes under breakdown, the 8 machines automatically go under breakdown as well. This makes that a critical asset, or a top-class asset. In Onfinity, or Field.ai, we are already providing 3 classes, A, B, and C. To create, we can mark it as an A-class equipment. I will also show you where we can map this equipment class in the Equipment Master. We can create these equipment classes with any name. In this example, I have created it with A, B, and C, but you can rename it. It feels like a standard organization class code. Then, for the name, you can mark it as a top class. So it is a top class machinery equipment class. We can map the priority to this class here. The use of this priority is that if you remember, We have already covered this master, and this is coming from the service and maintenance setup. Once we map the priority here, whenever we raise a service request or a field service request, and we pick an asset that has this class, the priority will automatically come up on that screen. It tells the user that this particular request should be a critical or a top most priority. The user can change that, but it is coming from this setting here. So we can map the different priorities to the different classes. For example, to a top class, we have mapped the critical priority. To a B class equipment or a medium class, we can say it like this. We have mapped the low priority to it, and to the C class, we have mapped the medium priority. So, we can map it with any naming conventions as we like. This is how we can use this equipment class in Field.ai. I will show you where we are mapping this equipment class on an equipment master screen. Let us go back to the next one. The next one is equipment rating. Like the name suggests, equipment rating is a rating provided to the equipment by the system itself. Equipment rating is used where there are many equipment available in plant maintenance. For example, a textile industry may have thousands of equipment available in one plant. They want to track the rating of equipment and whether the equipment are in good condition or not, so they can use this equipment rating on that equipment. It will automatically assign the rating that we define to that equipment after defining a schedule. Once a date will change, it will assign this rating to that equipment. I will tell you where it is being calculated from. First, let me create an equipment rating. This is the organization rating code. Let us keep it blank. For the name, I will provide Silver rating. I am saying the rating is from 365 days to 500 days. I am saving it. The range generated is always in days. This is the breakdown range, from 365 days to 500 days. This means for a Silver rating, the equipment or assets that have not gone under breakdown for a period from 365 days to 500 days will be given this rating. For example, a coffee machine had a breakdown before 365 days or before 500 days. Then, this rating will be provided to that equipment. This is important because it tells us that equipment has not gone under breakdown for so many days. It provides us with an indication that this equipment is in very good condition because it is a top-rated equipment that has not gone under breakdown. This is how we can create it. Another example is the diamond rating. This rating is for after 500 days. I have to provide 501 to an endless time. Now, if any equipment has not gone under breakdown since 501 days, the diamond rating will be provided to that equipment. The equipment that is not going under breakdown since 501 days to this 999,999 days, basically, are diamond-rated equipment. This means diamond-rated equipment are very top class and very good equipment. Their condition is very, very good. We have to achieve this diamond rating for each and every piece of equipment. Also, one important thing is that we cannot overlap these ratings. For example, I have created this alpha rating from 120 days to 150 days. If I want to create a new beta rating from 120 to 150 days, the system will not allow me to save this record because this slot already exists. This exists because the 120 to 150 range is already existing. If I want to create a beta rating, I have to increase this value. I can provide 151 to 200 days. Now I can save it. I have provided different ratings here. If my equipment's last breakdown falls between this range, the alpha rating will be provided. If it is beyond this range, like from 365 to 500 days, then this top rating will be provided. The beta rating is also provided between this range. This is how we can create an equipment rating in our system. This rating will be calculated by the system automatically when it is available on the equipment master screen. When it is being calculated, we have a process that we will show you in the configuration. That process should be configured in an automatic scheduler, which will run on a daily basis or as per the requirement of the organization, and then it will assign this rating to the equipment. The last one in this equipment master setup is equipment category. Equipment category, as the name suggests, is the categorization of equipment. This could be based on design, usage, installation time, or the nature of the equipment. Various categories are already maintained here, such as hydraulic presses, utility equipment, mechanical equipment, coffee machines, urinators, waste plants, QAC, and wine presses. Let us create one. The organization is already available. The express, and then the category code is here. I will put the name as Substation Equipment. I have created one category named Substation Equipment. As you know, there could be multiple types of equipment under a substation. For that, we have this equipment genre. Under a substation, there could be transformers. So transformers are one type of equipment that could be available under that equipment category. Then there could be switches and maybe panels. In this way, multiple genres can be available under one category. These genres will be assigned to one respective piece of equipment, which I will show you when we create a new equipment master. We can create an equipment category in this way. We can provide our name and equipment genres. Different genres can be established under one equipment category. At last, there is a serial number control. Serial number control is used to assign the asset code or equipment code. For example, we can create our own serial number control. Let us create one serial number control here for this equipment category, substation equipment. We will start the number from 5,000. The increment will be 10. The next number will be 5,000 only. Let us say the prefix is substation equipments. We can skip the suffix or we can provide it. The control basis is our choice, and we have to choose an equipment category here. In this way, we can save it. In this way, a new sales level control is established. This means that whenever we create a new asset or a new equipment with this equipment category, substation category, this system will assign the asset code or the equipment code from the start number to the current number. The system will pick the serial number from here. We will create one piece of equipment, and I will see how it works with respect to this category. I will show you how it assigns the equipment code. We can also do it at the organization level. This has already been covered in Onfinity 100 training, so I will not go deep into that. But we can set it at the organization level if we are working in a multi-organization system. Otherwise, we do not have to choose it. So, let us go back to the Equipment Master screen. Now, we have created one cell number control. Let us refresh it. Let us pick it here. This is a substation equipment. We can save it. In this way, we have created an equipment category. We can map this to the product from which we will create the equipment master. We can also map to this product category from which we will again create the equipment. Then we can directly assign it on the equipment master as well, which I will show you. Let me go back now. We have covered all these functions. Equipment application is covered, equipment class is done, equipment rating and equipment category are complete. So, let us move to the equipment master. This is a very important master that is being used in Field.ai. To navigate to the equipment master, go to Field.ai, then to Setup, and then there is an equipment master. This is one way. The other way is you can search for it in the menu. It is also available on this widget under important links at the bottom, called Equipment Master. When you click it, it will directly land on that Equipment Master. On the Equipment Master window, you will also find a few widgets and charts that are being covered in another video. You will find this to be very useful in the Equipment Master. Then there is a comprehensive screen for the Equipment Master window. You can see there are various tabs related to this Equipment Master. First, let us understand the equipment or the asset. Equipment or asset is a machine against which we are raising the request internally for our own organization, or it is the customer's asset that we can maintain in our system. We can do both things on one screen only. There are a few settings available that I will show you. If I want to create a new equipment, I have to click on New Record here. I cannot provide the asset code here. It will be coming from the equipment category, as I have shown you. Otherwise, it is coming from the asset group. If there is not an equipment category maintained, it will be coming from the asset group. This is also covered in AF 100, and I believe you are aware of it. Then there is an asset name that we have to provide. So, a product must be in the system before creating a new asset in the system. It is not like we are directly creating an asset. We have to go with this flow only. First, we have to go through the product master, and we have to create a new product. Let us create a new one. I will give it the name Transformer. The product type is always an item. The product category is Customer Asset. The tax category is Standard. It is not a purchased asset, but it could be, so I am marking it as true. Heavy stock can also be done. So, in this way, we can create a product here. Once I create the product, I will go to that product again and show you some details. This is the product that we have created, Transformer 11 kVA. We have mapped this customer asset product category here. Let me zoom it out again. On this, we can map this equipment category here. Let us say we have created the substation equipment. We can map this category there. So now, whenever I save that record on the equipment master, it will automatically assign this numbering that is available on this equipment category. This is how the configuration can be done for the equipment category and for the equipment master. Let us now give the name Transformer 11 kVA. We have to choose the product here. In this way, we can choose the product. Then there is a call center. If we are using the plant maintenance, then we should provide this call center. Otherwise, we can leave it blank. I am leaving it blank in this case, but we can choose from the list of call centers that are available. We can choose that here as well. We have to provide the warranty date that is provided by the OEM. Let us say it is in warranty until the 30th of June. Then we have to provide the asset group, as it is a mandatory one. I am creating an asset for the customer, so I will choose the customer asset. We can also create our own asset group. I explain this in Onfinity 100. We can create it by zooming into the asset group, or we can choose it from the list. We can also choose the equipment category here, or it will automatically appear whenever we save this record. If we want to provide an image, we can add the image here. When we click on this, we can choose a file from our local system and attach this image. I will cancel it. Now, we have to provide the location of the asset. This is very useful when we are raising a field service request or a plant maintenance request. This location is very useful in order to navigate the technician to the exact location of the asset. If we are maintaining the location here, then the technician can go to this location of the asset while executing the task. I will keep this location only. I can choose which customer this asset is related to. Then there are two other checkboxes here. You can see owned and in possession. Owned is used if I am using this asset for myself. So, if this is my organization's asset, for example, for the plant maintenance case, and all the machinery is procured and maintained by me, then I have to mark this owned as true and also in possession. If you can see, the customer will be eliminated from here. This is because it is in my possession and is owned by me, so there is no linkage to a customer. In this way, it will become a plant maintenance asset. Otherwise, it will become a customer asset. For this plant maintenance, we can provide details. If you want to map an employee to this asset, you can map that employee. Of course, the employee master should be created. If that master is available, we can map it. Otherwise, we can keep it blank. In the case of this plant maintenance asset, we have to map the warehouse here. We also have to select the locator to which warehouse and locator this asset is related. This is also very important. Then we can save this. I will not save this with the owned option. I am creating this as a customer asset. One important thing here is that when we are marking this owned and in possession as true, Additional information will open for this asset, which will show the asset type that will automatically come from the asset group. The in-service date will also show the date since it has been under service. The quantity is auto-populated. Then there is a preventive schedule. So you have to mark whether this asset is for a preventive schedule or not. You have to mark whether you want to create a preventive schedule for this asset or not. This is for informative purposes. Right now, I am keeping it as false and saving this record. Now you can see the asset code is coming from the equipment category that we have created, SS5000. In this way, we can create an equipment master record in our system. There are now other details available for the equipment master or asset. First of all, there are equipment details. This is a very important master as well. This is for the equipment details of the asset which we have created. Click on a new record. Only one record is allowed on this screen. We have to create only one set of equipment details. The asset is a transformer. The name is coming from the previous record. This is a child for that equipment genre. If you remember, we have mapped the equipment category, substation equipment. Under that equipment, we have created a few genres. So this is a transformer, so we will pick the transformer here. This is a genre for this equipment. Then the application is electricity generation. We will pick this for the example. Here, any number of applications we are creating can be available. Then the maintenance group, we have created the different maintenance groups and we can map that. So we are mapping a maintenance group to this equipment details. Then the responsible person can be assigned here. This is for information that this person will maintain this asset in the future. Then the equipment class, like I explained, different classes are available here. Although this is not mandatory, we can select this. A transformer is a critical asset, so I am marking it as a top class equipment. Then the manufacturer. We can provide the name of the manufacturer. Let us give the name VHEL. The model number is VHEL. This model number is generally provided by the OEM, so we have to provide that model number. The manufacturing serial number can be 1190, so this is the manufacturing serial number. The country of origin is in India. In this case, you can pick any country from the list as well. Then the date of manufacturing is also available on the nameplate of the equipment. Let us provide a date that this manufacturing was done on the 31st of May and was installed on the 10th of June in 2025. So this is how these details can be provided. Then we have the dimensions. If any dimensions are available, we have to provide them. The dimensions are only in millimeters, which include length, breadth, and height. So, let's choose this one, 800 by 300 by 250. All of these fields are for informative purposes only. We can provide the weight of this equipment. Let us say it weighs 352 kilograms. If this is a transformer, we can provide the connected power load, sometimes for a cooling purpose. We have to attach separate oil heaters or oil coolers. We can provide that power load, like 2 units. We can choose the units from kilowatt, horsepower, and watt. I am choosing this one. Then we can provide the equipment capacity description for this particular transformer. For a particular equipment, we can provide it here, like a step-down or step-up transformer capacity. Then we have to provide the equipment capacity in numbers. I am providing 11 capacity units and choosing kVA. This is a list of units that we are maintaining. We can also create our own unit or choose it from the list. So this is a kVA we can choose here, and then there is an equipment rating. You see it is blank. This is because this is a new asset, so no rating will be assigned to this equipment. To assign the rating, we have to run the process, and the system will automatically assign this rating. We can see that rating here. Then there is also the work center. This is used in the plant maintenance case only. It is for which work center this particular asset is related to, in this case, a transformer. Let us say it is the power backup section. We are linking this asset to this work center. At last, there is a checkbox to restrict service requests, work schedules, and work orders. If I mark this as true, it means I will not be able to generate any service requests or work schedules or a work order for this asset. This is required because sometimes we want to create assets in our system, but we do not want to raise any requests or create any maintenance work orders for those respective assets. This is because the assets are not that important. They may only be replaceable. Whenever they get faulty, we have to replace them. To serve that purpose, we can mark this as true. Then, this record will not be visible. Otherwise, this record will be visible on every screen to create a request or a maintenance form. After putting in all the details, we can click on Save and this will be saved here. Let us go back to the home screen. The second tab is the Equipment Runtime. This is used in the plant maintenance case only. Equipment runtime is the operational time of the assets that we need to provide. For example, there could be multiple assets that are running only from a defined time, like from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Supposedly, there is only one shift that is working in an industry. So, for example, the start time is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. In this way, we are telling the system that this asset is available for operation only from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is important because this runtime is used to calculate the breakdowns. If any breakdown is happening after these timelines, the system will not calculate that particular time. Otherwise, the system will calculate all the time if you are not maintaining this. If I do not create any record in this equipment runtime, the system will assume that this equipment is available for 24 hours of operations. I have to create records in the equipment runtime only if this equipment is not available for 24 hours. I can create multiple records as well. For example, I find that this asset is available from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and I can say the next schedule is available from 7 p.m. to, let us say, 10 p.m. for 3 hours. So, this asset is available for 2 shifts, one very small and one very long. The breakdown will also be calculated for this time use only for this asset or equipment. Then there is the latest spare parts. Latest spare parts are basically the forms or the bill of materials or the spare parts that can be used for this asset. This is for information purposes only. So for example, if I create a new one, I have to select a relative product. Let us say an oil filter. I see a filter. It is a Mobile 320px filter model, so I have to choose the product here. I can give any name to this. This is a filter, an oil filter. The quantity is 2. The unit of measure is each for this. The later product type is a spare part. If there is any service like a task service, we can map that as well. But in this case, we will choose the spare part only. Just save it. Now we will know that this particular filter is related to this transformer. We have to keep an inventory of it, or maybe maintain it in stock. If we are raising any request, we will be aware of which filter can be used. We can see this on the Equipment Master screen or in the latest spare parts. Then we can choose and see these products here, and we can select that on tasks as well. This is how this can be used. Next is different expenses. This tab is used to see the expenses incurred on this prospective asset. This is a new asset, so there will be nothing here. Let us go to some other asset, maybe the generator one. Let us go to the executive. As you can see, these are the various products that have incurred expenses related to this asset. We can see all these details, including the amount and where it was spent. You can see which product is being used. So all these details are available on the equipment expenses here. This is for informative purposes, and we can see it here. The reports can also be pulled from here. Then there are schedules and requests. Whatever maintenance work schedules, maintenance requests, field schedules, or field service requests are created against this asset, they can be navigated directly from here. We have to click on Schedule and Request, and then it will show where this asset is being used. We can click on that, and it will navigate to that particular screen. Also, One important thing in the Equipment Master is that if we want to upload any documents, we can do that. Any manuals or the literature we have got along with the equipment when we buy that equipment, we can upload it here by clicking on Upload Document. Then we have to select that document and we can upload it with respect to this asset. If you want to view this, click on View Document. You can see whatever manuals we have uploaded will be available against this asset. These are the 4 manuals I have already uploaded with respect to this generator that will be available here. We can see these manuals on the mobile application as well when we execute the task from the mobile application. That is all about the Equipment Master. This concludes this session. Thank you for attending.